Heaven and earth shall pass away. It's a phrase that carries so much weight, doesn't it? You
Mhm.
usually hear it and you think, apocalypse, fire, brimstone, the end of everything.
Right. It feels like a threat.
Yeah,
But the source material we're looking at today, it just completely pulls the rug out from under that.
it really does.
It says the passing away isn't about destruction at all. It just means they'll stop existing as, well, as separate states.
Has separate things. It's about integration, not obliteration.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about healing a split.
And that's such a perfect starting point for our deep dive today. We're looking at this text that's almost like a technical manual on atonement and miracles.
Yeah, technical is a good word, but not in a dry way.
No, not at all. It's practical. It's framed as a guide, really, to understanding your part in this great crusade to undo error.
And crusade is a strong word, you know.
Uh-huh.
But here it's all internal. It's a crusade of perception.
Mm-hmm.
What really struck me is the dynamic it sets up right away. This isn't just philosophy. It's like direct communication from a teacher.
The I in the text.
Right, the I in the text to a student. And that relationship is the key to everything else.
That's exactly where I want to start, this idea of a director. Because, so many spiritual paths feel like you're on your own.
Very solitary, yeah.
But this text just comes out and says it. I am in charge of the process of atonement, which I undertook to begin. That's a huge claim.
It's a massive claim. And it totally changes the game. If there's a director, someone managing the whole project, then your role shifts. You're not the architect anymore.
You're more like a field agent.
A field agent, I like that. The director here is basically the chief of corrections. The atonement is the plan, and he's running it.
Chief of corrections. Okay. So there's a plan we don't have to invent ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's also more intimate than that, isn't it? It talks about this triangle.
Yes.
It says when you perform a miracle, which is really just a shift in how you see someone, you're doing it for yourself and for the director.
That connection is vital. It means the act isn't isolated. If I, say, choose to forgive you for something, it's not just between you and me.
I see.
It's a transaction that completes a circuit,
Yeah.
between you, me, and the director. It validates the whole thing within the bigger plan.
There is one detail about this that I found so comforting, almost like a cosmic insurance policy.
I think I know what you're going to say. That he stands at the end.
Exactly. The safety net. What does that really imply for us?
It's exactly that, a safety net. It deals with that universal fear of, what if I mess this up?
Yeah, that my mistakes are permanent.
Right. And the text says, I stand at the end in case you fail temporarily. It's his job to cancel out the errors you couldn't fix on your own.
Which is just a huge relief. The idea that you don't have to, burn off karma for 10 lifetimes because you got angry in traffic.
It's a much more forgiving system. Like the director can edit the final film. You might flub a line, but he can correct it, so the final cut, the atonement, is perfect.
It's a partnership.
A partnership where the senior partner guarantees the outcome.
Okay, but even with that safety net, you still have to actually, do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And this brings up a paradox that I think trips a lot of people up. It feels like a catch-22. To perform a miracle, you need confidence. But to get confidence, you need to see it work first.
The source material sees that coming. It anticipates that exact hesitation.
And what's the answer?
The line is, conviction comes through accomplishment.
So you have to act first. You do the work to get the faith.
Exactly. You don't sit on the couch and wait to feel holy. You offer the miracle, even with your doubts. The text even has a formula for it.
Oh, yeah.
The ability is your potential. The achievement is the action itself, the expression. And the atonement is the purpose behind it all.
It also calls it the natural profession of the children of God.
I love that phrasing.
Natural profession. It makes it sound like breathing. It's not some superhuman thing. It's what we were designed to do.
Which implies that not doing it is what's unnatural. Holding a grudge is going against your own design. It's exhausting.
Sure is.
But, and this is a really critical point the text makes, just because it's natural doesn't mean we should just do it, indiscriminately.
This is where I paused when I was reading, because my first thought was, okay, great. Miracles are good, so more is better. I'll just be a fire hose of blessings for everyone I see.
A fire hose, yeah. A lot of us think that way.
But the text puts up a big stop sign.
A very clear one. It makes a distinction. It says, I am the only one who can perform miracles indiscriminately because I am the atonement.
So why is it a problem for us? Is it that we don't have enough power or something else?
It's a lack of data. It's an efficiency thing. The text says you can't see the whole plan.
Our vantage point is limited.
Totally. You don't see the timing, the ripple effects, the other person's readiness. So if you just go around trying to control the action aspect yourself, you might just be wasting energy.
That's humbling. It's saying, you don't know enough to run the show. The advice is to ask, which miracles should I perform?
Yeah, and the benefit it gives is sparing you needless effort.
That sounds pretty good.
Think of all the burnout people experience trying to be a good person. We're trying to fix things that weren't our assignment. We're trying to be the director.
So it's about waiting for your cue, not writing the whole script.
That's a great way to put it.
The text also reinterprets that line from the Lord's Prayer, lead us not into temptation. That line has always been a bit of a head-scratcher for me.
It's confusing. Why would God lead you into temptation?
Right. It sounds like a setup, but the take here is completely different.
It's purely psychological. It redefines the line to mean, recognize your errors and choose to abandon them by following my guidance.
So temptation isn't some external trap. It's our own tendency to believe in the error.
Exactly. The temptation to believe you're a victim, or that you're separate, or that attack is a good idea. The prayer is really just a request to be led out of your own confusion.
The guidance is the antidote to the temptation. Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. And this all leads to the psychological core of the whole thing. The rubber meets the road part.
The golden rule.
The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Which we usually just hear as a rule for behavior. You know, be nice and people will be nice back.
But the text says that's backwards. It says behavior follows perception. You can't behave correctly if you don't perceive correctly first.
So if I'm thinking you're an idiot, even if I'm smiling and being polite, I'm not really following the rule.
Exactly. Your behavior is just a mask. The source asks for a total shift in vision. It says you and your neighbor are equal, so how you perceive both is how you will treat both.
You have to see them from your own holiness.
Yes.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate for a second. That is an incredibly high bar. Perceiving everyone as holy, the guy who cut me off in traffic, the politician I can't stand, it feels almost impossible.
It does feel impossible, but only because we're used to looking with the ego. The ego judges by what people do. The spirit sees the truth behind it. And here's the kicker.
What's that?
The text says, if you see them as anything less than holy, you are attacking yourself.
How does that work? How does me judging someone else come back to hurt me?
Because you've just defined the world you live in. If you decide that people are fundamentally flawed, you've just made your own world unsafe. You've made yourself vulnerable in a world where attack is real.
You have to live in the prison you build for others.
That's it. Which brings us to the state of grace.
Right. The text is so clear. Spirit is in a state of grace forever. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever.
A beautiful idea.
But it sure doesn't feel like that most days. We feel anxious. We feel threatened.
And the text explains that disconnect. It says whenever you feel threatened by the truth, it's always because you're defending misplaced or misdirected loyalty.
Misplaced loyalty. What are we loyal to then?
Our stories, our grievances, our identity as a victim. We're loyal to the idea that we are a body that can be harmed. The text says error can't threaten truth. Only error is vulnerable.
So feeling threatened is like a diagnostic tool. It's a warning light that says, I'm identifying with something that isn't real.
It's a tough pill to swallow. It's saying if you're upset, you're protecting a lie.
Wow.
But it's also empowering. Because if the threat isn't real, we don't need to attack. And this is where it talks about projection. When we project our errors onto others, we imprison them.
Imprison them how?
In our minds. We basically help them believe in their own mistake. If I see you as guilty, my perception is reinforcing that belief in you.
And the miracle worker's job is to pick the lock.
Yes, to bless them. It says this, undoes their distortions and frees them from prison. By refusing to see them as a sinner, you free them to be who they really are.
I love that. We're all walking around with keys to each other's prisons.
We are.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics, because the text uses a word that can be off-putting, impersonal.
Right, the impersonal nature of the miracle. It sounds cold.
It sounds like a form letter, but that's not what it means here, is it?
No, not at all. In this context, impersonal means universal, inclusive. It means you don't play favorites. The miracle is for anyone who can use it.
And there's that line, when you bring in the stranger, he becomes your brother.
That's the heart of it. Atonement is about unity. If you leave even one person out of your circle of forgiveness, you've just recreated the separation.
So every miracle welds another link in this strong chain of atonement.
It's a web of connection. It strengthens everyone.
Okay, now for the most radical part. The part I think will really challenge people listening. The part about the magnitude of miracles. The size.
Yes, the famous ACIM.
There is no order of difficulty in miracles. Now, my brain immediately rebels against that. Curing a headache feels small. Curing cancer feels huge. One seems easy, the other impossible.
And the text says that way of thinking is just wrong. It says our ideas about size and difficulty are based on a plane that is itself unreal.
Okay, let's go deep on this. What does it mean that size is unreal?
Well, think of it like this. If the whole world of separation is a dream, right?
Okay.
In a dream, is it any harder for you to conjure an elephant than it is to conjure a mouse?
No, they're both just thoughts.
Exactly. They're both equally unreal. In the realm of truth, something is either true or it is false. A tiny lie and a massive lie are both just lies. The miracle is just a correction. It's a switch, not a dial.
So, thinking a big problem is harder to solve is actually just another trap we set for ourselves.
It's a way of making the error real. We're saying this problem is more powerful than the solution. But the text argues that a miracle's job is to restore reality, so it can't be bound by the laws of the illusion it's trying to correct.
That's a key insight. If miracles followed the laws of physics, they wouldn't be miracles.
They'd just be physics. Miracles come from outside that system of error. They don't fight it, they just replace it with truth.
One last practical question before we wrap up. What if I do all this? I ask for guidance, I shift my perception, and the other person doesn't change. They stay angry or sick or whatever. Did the miracle fail?
The text is so clear and so comforting on this. It says, the miracle will always bless you.
So the outcome over there doesn't matter for me over here.
Not for the value of the miracle itself. It's an expression of your state of mind. And by giving it, you strengthen it in yourself. By choosing to see you as holy, I'm convincing my own mind that holiness is real.
So you can't lose by giving.
You literally can't.
Okay, let's try and bring this all together. We have a director, this inner guide, who sees the whole plan.
And our job is to ask for our assignment, not try to run the whole show. It saves us from that, I have to save the world burnout.
Great. And before we can act, we have to perceive correctly, see the holiness in others, which is the real golden rule.
Because if we see them as broken, we're just reinforcing their prison.
Right.
And our own.
And we're invited to just drop our ideas about what's a big problem versus a small one.
It's all just a call for love. An error is an error.
And finally, we're all part of this strong chain. Every time we lift someone, we lift ourselves.
It's a beautiful, self-reinforcing system. The more you give, the more you realize you have.
I want to leave everyone listening with this one thought from the source material. It's a definition of who you really are. It says, you are the work of God, and his work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is.
Wholly lovable and wholly loving. Imagine walking around with just that one thought all day.
It would change everything. So here's a thought for today. Maybe don't try to figure it all out. Just ask for your specific assignment.
Who's the stranger I can welcome as a brother today?
And just trust that the conviction will come when you take that step.
That's the way.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you on the next one.